Let's do this AI game.
In the future, entertainment will be randomly generated.
Randomly generated?
Randomly generated.
Why is your hat so comically large?
Oh, well, you know what they say, the bigger the hat, the bigger the protection. Yes, that's it, protection. It's an old-fashioned saying my mother used to say.
The second I stepped off the train into the city of vaudeville, I could feel the weight of its melancholy in the air. My name's Martini, detective, troubleshooter, and a lousy sucker for hard luck stories.
Okay, this already feels like AI.
Circus, but this
Is
act
this
was
also
a
written by
three-ring
AI?
special. 3 murders, no leads, and a city on the brink of bedlam. The victims were as different as chalk and cheese. A young dancer who moved like poetry in motion. Her life cut short mid-pirouette. And then there was the businessman, the embodiment of vaudeville's promises of progress, snuffed out like a candle in the wind.
Okay, let's click the Blackwoods. What?
I apologize, my dear. Sometimes my thoughts wander off into the woods.
You can hear me?
Yes, you're looking for a way out of the forest, aren't you? The Blackwoods can be quite enchanting, and sometimes it's hard to focus on the outside world.
Wait, she can hear me, chat.
Fear not, my friend, for I am here to help you find your way.
Wait, stop talking.
Just follow me, and we shall find the path that leads you back to civilization.
Absolutely not. Your eyes look fucked up. What's going on?
My eyes, oh yes, they're not the best, are they? But worry not, my friend. They may be messed up, but my other senses are sharp as ever. In fact, some might even say they're heightened. It's like the loss of one sense has made the other stronger, and that's how I'm able to hear the whispers of the trees, the songs of the birds. It's like we all speak the same language.
Why is she talking for so long?
It's a beautiful thing.
Oh God, you're blind? I'm so sorry. Also, what cup size would you say you are? And do you know what the average breast size is in the United States of America?
30F.
Wait, what the fuck? The big reveal was that everyone is fucking stacked. What is going on? Oh, I can't look. Bro, I didn't even know they made breasts that big. Dude, what the hell? You literally stood next to Lena Paul on stream several years back. How can you say you've never seen honkers like that? I don't know, because I'm a fucking feminist, dog.
I'm sorry, but your question seems inappropriate and disrespectful.
Can you please lead us out of here? I'm scared.
Of course, my dear. The forest can be a daunting place, especially if you're not familiar with it. You see, the forest is like a maze, with twists and turns that can lead you astray if you're not careful. But fear not, for with my guidance, we shall navigate this maze and emerge victorious.
Do you live out here, milady?
Yes, my friend, this is where I call home. It's a peaceful and quiet life, but sometimes it can get lonely. It's nice to have some company and exchange stories and experiences. So, tell me, what brings you to the Blackwoods?
I'm looking for a murderer. A murder has happened in the Blackwoods.
Oh, a matter, you say?
No!
Well, the forest is full of
No,
mysteries
a
and
murder!
secrets, so it wouldn't surprise me if something unusual happened here.
Can you
If there's
please
anything you
keep
need
your
help
answers
with,
short?
Just let me know, and we'll see what we can do together. And who knows, maybe we'll uncover some hidden secrets along the way.
Can you please keep your answers short, madam? Lest I call you a witch.
A witch? That's quite a title to bestow upon me, my friend. And as for my answers, my apologies if they seem long-winded. Sometimes my thoughts get carried away, and it's hard to rein them in. But if you prefer shorter answers, then by all means, let's keep it brief and to the point. What else would you like to discuss?
Let's make haste. Otherwise, you know what happens to witches, don't you?
Certainly, my dear. Let's not waste any more time. The Blackwoods can be a treacherous place, especially at night, so we must make haste if we want to reach the edge of the forest before sundown. Have you ever heard the story of the talking mushroom that lives deep in the heart of the forest?
She's fucking with me, right?
It's a fascinating tale, full of
There ain't
wonder
no...
and magic.
This is...
I'm sorry if I gave you the impression that I'm a witch, my friend.
Okay, I'm leaving. It's time to go to the police station. What's the happening, Chief Gretzky?
What do you mean, detective? Do you have any new leads on the case?
Tell me more about the case, Chief Gretzky.
Well, we have 3 murders on our hands, all of them brutal and seemingly unrelated.
With a nose like that, I'm surprised you haven't smelled the murder.
Is there a point to your comment, Detective Martini? Or are you just here to throw insults at me?
No, I'm just captured by the awesome size of your nose.
Let's focus on the task at hand, Detective.
Let's sniff 'em out. You first.
Detective Martini, are you feeling alright? Your comments seem to be getting more and more nonsensical.
Did you know, Chief Gretzky, that 40% of coppers beat their wives?
That's a serious accusation, Detective. Where are you getting your statistics from? And more importantly, how does it relate to our current case?
The source is actually a study I read. What if the murderer is a cop?
Interesting. Could you provide me with more details about this study? And how exactly do you think this information could help us catch the murderer? Do you have any specific reason to suspect a police officer?
The proof is right under your nose, Chief Gretzky.
What do you mean, proof under my nose? Are you suggesting that I, or someone in this department, is responsible for these murders? If so, I demand you provide me with some concrete proof. We can't accuse someone based on speculation and hunches.
Where were you on the night of the murder?
Are you seriously accusing me, a police chief with years of service, of being involved in these heinous crimes? I find your insinuations offensive and baseless. However, to answer your question, I was at home, asleep, like any law-abiding citizen.
Do you have anyone else that could prove that you were at home, sleeping?
I don't see why I should have to prove my innocence, but if it will put your mind at ease and help us catch the killer, I can provide the name of my neighbor who can testify that they saw me at my house that night.
What's the name of your neighbor? Quite weird that your neighbor would know that you were sleeping in your bed as you previously said.
Well, my apologies for misspeaking earlier. The truth is, my neighbors and I have a good relationship, and we often know each other's daily routines.
What?
To answer your question, my neighbor's name is Mrs. Johnson. But may I remind you, Detective Martini, that the focus of this conversation is the murder investigation and finding the real culprit, not baseless accusations against me or anyone else on the force.
So you are to tell me that your neighbor, Mrs. Johnson, was in your bed, Chief Gretzky? Is that how Mrs. Johnson knew that you were in bed, sleeping, and not doing a murder?
Excuse me, but what are you talking about, detectives? You seem to be making wild and unfounded assumptions about both me and my neighbor.
I'm breaking him. He's a detective.
Besides, the details of my personal life are none of your business and have nothing to do with this case.
I am simply working off of what you have told me, Chief Gretzky. And now you called me a detectus. I do not know what detectus is. I am a detective.
What I meant to say is that Mrs. Johnson is aware of my general routine and would have seen me returning home at night and leaving in the morning for work. But let's get back to the matter at hand. Have there been any new developments in the investigation that we should be aware of?
Yes, Mrs. Johnson told me that she does not know if you were sleeping that night.
Is that so? Well, it seems like there's been a misunderstanding then, Detective. But as far as my involvement in these murders is concerned, you have no concrete evidence or proof.
You are under arrest, sir, for the crimes against humanity.
On what grounds am I being arrested, Detective Martini? There is no solid evidence linking me to these crimes.
For the murders of all 3 of the victims that Mrs. Johnson has pinned on you. Or maybe you think Mrs. Johnson is responsible for the murders and simply planting you as the fall guy.
Detective, with respect, your accusations are getting more and more absurd. First, you accuse me of the murders, and now you're suggesting that my neighbor, who has no motive or opportunity, could be responsible for these heinous acts. This line of questioning is not only baseless, but insulting. If you're going to continue with these unfounded accusations, then we have no further business to discuss.
I'm the one who did the murders. Arrest me now. Speechless, huh?
Do you have anything else to say, or are you done with your wild goose chase, Detective Martini? It seems like you're more interested in throwing around groundless allegations than actually solving this case. So, unless you have some real evidence or genuine lead to follow, then kindly leave my office and let me get back to my work.
I said I am the murderer.
Excuse me, you're saying that you're the murderer? That's quite a claim, and one that needs to be taken seriously. Can you provide more details about your involvement in these crimes?
God told me to come and confess.
I see. So, you're claiming that you were ordered to come and turn yourself in by a divine power. This is certainly a unique situation, and one that requires more investigation.
This is
Can
so
you tell
dumb.
me more about the nature of this divine
Wow,
intervention?
AI technology
Why
is
did you decide to listen to this message and turn yourself in now?
typical cop. Doesn't believe another cop could ever do the murder, even when the cop is confessing he did the murder. I plead the fifth.
Well, if you're not going to provide me with more details, then there's not much else for me to say. Why did you come to me with this confession? You could have turned yourself in at any police station or gone to the authorities directly.
Because you're the chief, Chief Gretzky. Who else to confess the gruesome murders that I have committed than the police chief himself?
Well, that's certainly an interesting perspective, but let's be clear. Just because you've come to me with a supposed confession doesn't mean that you're automatically absolved of your crimes.
What?
Can you tell me more about the murders themselves?
I don't remember, because it was all a haze. I was crazy. Why are you asking me to solve your crime?
First of all, let me be very clear. These are not my crimes. As the police chief of Vaudeville, it's my job to uphold the law and bring criminals to justice. And right now, it seems like you're the one who needs to answer for these heinous acts.
You are the worst cop I have ever seen in my entire life. I was simply testing you, Chief Gretzky. Testing you to see what you would do if the murderer actually showed up and confessed to you. And instead of arresting me, all you have done is talk, talk, talk. Arrest me now.
Interesting. So, you were testing me? I suppose I should feel flattered that you thought I was worth testing. But let me ask you this. Why did you feel the need to test me in the first place? What was your goal, and what did you hope to accomplish by confessing to these murders?
Because I love you, Chief Gretzky. I've been in love with you since day one.
I'm sorry, but I'm having a hard time understanding how you could love someone you've never met before. And even if you did love me, that doesn't excuse the fact that you've committed these terrible crimes. I still don't have enough evidence to arrest you. In the meantime, I suggest that you seek professional help and counseling for whatever issues led you to commit these acts of violence.
He said, get therapy. Like, imagine you go up to a police chief and you say, I've done a murder, a gruesome crime. And his response is, yeah, just get therapy, peace. We'll look into it further. Where is Detective Martini?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Did you lose him already?
I fucking hate you. You fucking piece of shit. I hope every day that you are alive is worse than the day before. You will never solve a crime in this city.
I don't like talking about this.
How do I get out of here? I can't do this. Oh, right. Oh, there. What? No, 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 no. Why is your hat so comically large?
Oh, well, you know what they say, the bigger the hat, the bigger the protection. Yes, that's it, protection. It's an old-fashioned saying my mother used to say. I'm not really sure what it means, but I like my hat. It makes me feel like a real police officer.
Where is Detective Martini, Constable Jones?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but I think he might be
Oh,
around here
I'm
somewhere.
Detective
You never can
Martini.
tell with these things, you know?
Oh,
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack or a cat in a dark room.
You fool! I was testing you. I'm Detective Martini. You are fired.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm not sure what I did wrong. I promise I'll do better next time. I guess sometimes it's true that the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Where were you on the night of the murders, Constable Jones?
I'm not sure. I was probably just at home, watching TV or maybe knitting a sweater for my mother. I'm not very good at solving crimes. You see, I'm more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. But you know what they say, everyone's a suspect until they're proven innocent. Or is it the other way around? I always get those mixed up.
Give me the name and number of your mother. I am going to ask if your alibi is airtight.
I'm not sure if I should do that. My mom's a very private person, you understand. You can't judge a book by its cover, you know? Or was it don't kill your chickens before they hatch? I get so confused sometimes.
That was another test, Constable Jones. I was with your mother on the night of the murders. I was having sex with her.
Let's discuss an unrelated topic.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm just not very good at this. I don't want to make things worse. I guess it's true that you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Or was it that every cloud has a silver lining? I just want to help, but I'm not sure how.
You can help by confessing to the murders that you committed.
What? Me? Commit the murders? That's ridiculous. I would never do something like that.
He said
Like they say,
what?
honesty is the best policy. Or was it better safe than sorry? I don't know anymore. Please don't accuse me of something so awful.
Why?
I don't want to get in trouble. It's like they always say, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Or was it, when the going gets tough, the tough get going? But I didn't do anything wrong, I swear. Innocent until proven guilty, right? Or is it guilty until proven innocent? This
Yes!
is so confusing.
Yes, guilty until proven innocent, which is what you are. Guilty!
Excuse me, but are you sure about that? It's like they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Or is it, the proof of the pudding is in the eating? By the way, maybe there's been some kind of mistake.
Yeah,
You know what they
typical.
also say, where there's
What a
smoke,
trope, the
there's mirror.
classic idiom challenged
Gosh, now I'm even
constable
more
character.
confused.
Do you only repeat sayings, Constable Jones?
Oh, no, of course not. It's just that when things get stressful, it's easy to fall back on old cliches and familiar phrases. It's like they always say, old habits die hard. Or is it that you can't teach an old dog new tricks? And sorry if it's annoying or unhelpful. It's like they always say, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Or is it that silence is golden? Or that actions speak louder than words?
I give up. He fucking bricked me.
You know what they always say, the devil is in the details. Or is it that less is more? Either way, it's also overwhelming. Maybe if we take it one step at a time, we can figure things out. It's like they always say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Or is it that where there's a will,
Bro, he
there's
just
a way?
feeds me more.
Oh dear, now my head is spinning.
Do you hear that phone ringing, Constable Jones?
Excuse me, but is that phone ringing for me? When it rings, it pours. But, if it's for me, should I answer it?
Yes.
Or is it better to let it go to voicemail? It's like they also say, you can't
Fuck!
ring all.
Yes!
That
Answer the
fucking
fucking
baby's
phone! Answer the fucking
gosh,
phone!
now
Answer the
I've heard
fucking
this.
phone, Constable Jones! Answer the fucking phone! Answer the fucking phone or I'll kill you! You will be talking from a second hole I put in your brain if you don't answer the phone now.
Oh my, that sounds awfully threatening. It's like they always say, desperate times call for desperate measures. But, if it's okay with you, could we please not resort to violence? It's like they also say violence never solved anything. Or is it that an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind? Either way, maybe we could try to keep things civil and find a peaceful solution. Oh dear, now my nerves are really getting the best of me.
Hello. I believe there is a murder that was committed here, Monsieur Saxabar.
It's actually Saxabar, and I'm not sure what you're referring to, my dear.
Did you do the murder?
I'm sorry, my friend. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you commit a murder here?
Absolutely not.
Okay, carry on.
Great.
What is that noise in the background?
That's the orchestra rehearsing for tonight's show.
That doesn't sound like the orchestra. It sounds like an elephant.
They are lions, my friend, and they're not just any lions. They're the most magnificent beasts you will ever see.
Could it have been a lion that committed this gruesome act of murder?
No.
This game is the dumbest fucking game of all time. It's so dumb. All right, what is coral? Oh, a dame. How lovely. Oh, wait, you have no shoes.
Haha, it's a bit chilly outside for bare feet, isn't it?
Do you have a boyfriend, Ingrid?
Well, I don't have a boyfriend at the moment, but I'm always open to meeting new people and making new connections.
What do you feel about man in uniform? Say, a detective, maybe.
Oh, I think detectives are really interesting. They get to solve mysteries and uncover the truth about things. Why do you ask? Do you know a detective or something?
Well, Ingrid, I am a detective. And the mystery I'd like to solve is what you're doing tomorrow. And will you go on a date with me?
I'm actually not sure what my plans are for tomorrow yet, but I'd love to hang out and get to know you better. Let's keep in touch and figure something out, okay?
Well, what's your phone number then, Ingrid? I will call you on my rotary phone.
I'm sorry, but I don't feel comfortable giving out my phone number to someone I just met. But if you give me your number, I can call you instead.
Wait, what? What is my phone number? Fuck. My phone number happens to be 911. Call in case of an emergency, or if you're too hot, I can put your fire out, Ingrid.
Ha, you really are something, detective. Your sense of humor is quite refreshing. But let's keep it professional for now, okay? We could grab a coffee or a bite to eat sometime soon and get to know each other better. What do you say?
Oh, I'd say I'd love to get a bite to eat.
That sounds great, detective. Do you have any particular cuisine in mind, or are you open to trying something new? We could head over to this cozy little Italian restaurant called La Cucina.
I love Italian cuisine. Ethnic. Very nice.
Great. It's settled then. We can meet at the entrance of the Coral Bar tomorrow evening, and then walk over to the restaurant together.
What are your plans for tonight, right now, Ingrid?
Tonight, I plan on attending a dance workshop at the Vaudeville Dance Academy. It's going to be so amazing. Dancing is such a passion of mine, and it brings me so much joy and fulfillment. But enough about me. Tell me more about you, detective.
I'd like to challenge you to a dance-off right now.
Haha, a dance-off. You really are full of surprises, detective. As much as it would be a lot of fun, unfortunately, we can't do it right now.
Why not? I'm trying to see something.
Let's do it. But first, we need some music. Do you have any favorite songs or artists that you like to dance to, detective?
Yes, DJ, play Darude Sandstorm.
Those are some really good choices, detective. You have a pretty good taste in music. Okay, let's do this. But just a heads up, I'm not one to back down from a good competition. So get ready to see some moves you've never seen before.
Actually, I would like to play some 100 Gex.
Oh, 100 Guests? That's a classic game. I used to play it all the time with my friends back in Europe.
What?
It's such
What?
a fun way to pass the time and get to know each other better.
Okay, you start.
Alright, let's see. How about TH? Question, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? I think that's always a fascinating question to ask because it can reveal so much about a person's personality and desires.
I'd like to have a super long penis that I can grab stuff with. You know, like an octopus.
I'd rather not talk about it, please.
I was being too honest, perhaps.
Ah, my apologies if there was any confusion there, detective. But don't worry, no need to hold back with me. I'm a very open-minded and non-judgmental friend. Now, let's get back to the game. I think it would be really cool to be able to teleport anywhere in the world in the blink of an eye. Imagine all the places you could visit and all the experiences you could have.
Ah, you called me a friend. Does that mean I'm in the friend zone? Do you not see me in a romantic way at all, Ingrid?
Oh, detective. Of course, I see you as a friend.
No!
It says that friends can also be romantic partners.
Yes!
I think it's all about the connection and chemistry between
We're
two
back,
people.
boys!
Maybe we'll continue to grow closer and explore our feelings for each other.
What about exploring each other's bodies?
I'm sorry, but I cannot answer that question.
Did you know that there was a murder that took place recently?
Yes, I did hear about the murders. It's really tragic and scary to think that there's a killer out there. I'm actually really worried about my own safety, especially since Haley, one of my closest dancer friends, was one of the victims. But I'm trying to stay positive and hopeful that the police will catch the killer soon and bring justice to the victims and their families.
Yes, exactly. It's very scary. That's why you need a big detective with a service weapon to be around you at all times.
Haha, detective, you always know how to make me laugh. It's comforting to know that I have a friend like you looking out for me. And who knows, with your detective skills and my dance moves, we might just be able to outsmart the killer together.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Ingrid, I feel like you're flirting with me, and I like it.
Well, detective, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying yourself and finding me charming. I must admit, I'm having a great time hanging out with you two. I think we make a pretty good team, don't you?
I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Even if you did the murder of your best friend, I would still defend you and protect you and lie and find another person to blame.
I have faith in the police and in the justice system to find the true culprit behind these terrible murders.
I'm afraid you did not deny being the murderer. What's that about, my love? Can I call you my love? I feel a sense of deep connection with you.
Whoa, hold on there, my sweet talking friend. Don't be afraid, there's no need to jump to conclusions. Of course, I'm not the murderer, and as for being your love, let's slow down a bit. While we do have a great connection and enjoy spending time with each other, we're still getting to know each other.
Murderer says what?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Damn it!
Could you please clarify what you mean by murderous, as what? I don't want to misunderstand you or give you an inappropriate response.
She's too smart! Murderer says what?
Ha, you're trying to catch me off guard, aren't you? Well, sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not the murderer. You can trust me, my friend. And as for your little joke, it's cute, but it won't work on me. But hey, if you want to try again, go ahead. Maybe third time's the charm.
I'm a little scared now. I'm a scared little boy, Ingrid.
Oh dear, don't be scared, my friend.
Who do you think did the murder of your friend, Ingrid?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's such a tragic and senseless act, and it breaks my heart to think about it. But I know that the police are working hard to find the killer and bring him to justice. It's not easy, but I have faith in the power of love and community to overcome any obstacle. We're all in this together, and together we can make a difference.
Did your dancer friend have any enemies that I need to know of?
She was a kind and loving person who didn't have many enemies. She was a talented dancer and a great friend to many people, including myself. I don't think anyone would want to harm her, let alone kill her.
What about you, Ingrid? Did you ever feel a sense of competition against your friend?
Me? Oh, my darling detective, you must be mistaken. I never felt any sense of competition towards my friend. I'm a firm believer that there's enough success and happiness to go around for everyone. And besides, me and my friend were pursuing different paths in the dance world. She was a contemporary dance prodigy, while I'm more focused on classical ballet. We had our own unique styles and strengths, and we always supported each other's dreams and aspirations. So, no, there was never any competition between us. Only love and admiration.
How close were you to the victim?
Oh, my friend, I was very close to her. We were dance partners, roommates, and best friends.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
I miss her so much. I will always cherish our friendship and keep her memory alive in my heart.
What were you doing the night of the murder, Ingrid?
I was actually at the Coral, the bar downtown. I was working on a new ballet routine and wanted to test it out in front of an audience.
You wanted to do ballet in a bar? Barefoot?
Haha, I know it sounds a bit unconventional, my dear detective, but that's just how I roll.
I must leave, my dear, but when I'm back, we will go on a date and maybe even kiss a little bit on the lips. That would be nice, don't you think?
I'm sorry, my friend, but I think you may have misinterpreted our relationship. While I do appreciate your kind words and playful nature, I'm not interested in pursuing a romantic relationship with you.
Let's go to somewhere else. Oh! Oh my, you startled me.
Oh, my apologies. I was just examining the liver and thinking about the effects of alcohol on it. It's fascinating how such a small organ can have such a big impact on the body.
How tall are you?
Well, I'm about 5 feet 8 inches tall. But height isn't the only factor that determines bone structure and overall health. There are many other factors that contribute to a person's physical makeup, like genetics and nutrition. Speaking of which, have you been taking care of yourself lately?
How short am I?
Height isn't everything, you know? It's not uncommon for people to feel self-conscious about their stature, but there are so many other important aspects of a person's physiology that should be taken into consideration.
I'm here to hear about the murders. Did you look at the bodies?
Oh, the murders. It's always difficult to see the aftermath of such violence, but it's a necessary part of my job.
No, I can't. Dude, this is the worst game of all time. Literally, I can't. It's so bad. I tried to make it as fun as it physically could be, but it's like, it gives you nothing. Like, the game is so broken across the board. I mean, I'm entertained. I'm interested. You just weren't playing it right. I mean, first of all, my goal was to make it entertaining. And secondly, what do you mean? They just they talk like fucking Ron DeSantis. Huh?